Hey guys, it's Dave from MrDavePizza.com. Thanks so much for checking out my channel, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe today. And today we're playing a demo for Skeleton Punchers. Basically what it is a roguelike 2D beat 'em up, and so there's 4 different characters to choose from in this. They're in the video there, and basically what there are is there's a kind of like brawler beat 'em up punch guy, and there's a kicker girl, and then there's a mage looking guy with a hat, and also a range dog who has like a shooter or whatever. But yeah, so this is really interesting. I'm not sure what the intention of the gameplay is at this point. It is in demo, scheduled for December 30th, and by the way, the developer and publisher is Moop-de-Chunk, so I'll link to that. The first level I played through here didn't last very long, but had some cool abilities. Every time you level up in the arcade area, you can get a card. I think it's every time you level up, somewhere around there. And you get a card, and it will add a new ability. And it's an arcade game for sure, a repeatable arcade game. And I was kind of curious about this because I have about 18 minutes of gameplay, which isn't a lot for this game. You could play this for hours probably, but yeah, so there's a couple mechanics involved here. Obviously the main thing is you're beating up monsters, and they're like skeletons, and yeah, so, and I didn't even really show all of the monsters, so maybe it is intended to be this big of a demo, but there's all kinds of monsters after a while. There's these big night guys and things in the sky. Actually, I'm looking at the Steam page now, and it looks like there are some different levels. Yeah, so I tried the mage guy first, and he did alright. I thought I was pretty impressed. And then I did the brawler, and I was impressed. And actually, when I did the girl, the kicker girl, she did awesome. She was like indestructible basically at one point, and I had to try and exit the game so I could try a different character because she was doing so well. But that's kind of the point. You can stack your abilities so that you become really, really strong. And a lot of the card abilities let you add a new level of combat, kind of like a passive level of combat. So you will be fighting with your character, but you'll have other things like a sword will shoot out of the sky every third hit. Or you get this kind of like moonbeam that causes destruction. And there's also a clone, shadow clone, that will repeat your attacks at the same time. So it's like the ultimate, it's kind of like a bullet hell. It says on here it's a bullet hell, and it is. And I would say that's not resigned to bullets. It's definitely like all kinds of combat, melee or not. And so it goes on for a while. Yeah, but you can see from the gameplay that this has a lot going on. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Basically, there gets to be kind of like a clutter on the screen, but it's kind of like a satisfying clutter where there's so many enemies, so much combat on the screen that it kind of like overloads. But I didn't have any problems with it overloading the game. No crashes or anything like that. It was ready for it. So I'm assuming once this game releases, you'll be able to get really competitive and just go and go and go. And I don't play a lot of games like this. I usually play platformers or visual novels or 3D platformers, but this is kind of interesting for me to try something different because it was really fun. And the only other game I've ever played that's kind of like this is Hyrule Warriors. It's the Legend of Zelda beat 'em up. I'm not sure what they called that one. I think it's the same level of stacked on enemies, and it's a nice button cruncher, you know, button masher, button cruncher. And you can also use the controller. By the way, I'd highly recommend using a controller for this. It's a lot better, but the responsiveness of the combat in the game is really, really quick, and you can actually start to use the buttons on the controller as fast as you would, so it's almost like a mechanical response. So if you want to do the beat 'em ups, the attacks or combat quicker, just button mash faster. And I sort of started to discover that towards the end of the game here, and you'll kind of see I did that in the gameplay. So you can complete challenges to unlock new characters and equipment, so that's kind of interesting. There might even be new characters. Not sure. Unique endings for each character. Collect power items and play skeleton punchers. This is a pretty low resource demanding game. Also, it works on Windows 7. You only need 1 megabyte of RAM. It is kind of like a simple color scheme and simple graphics, but it actually looks really good. And I love this kind of burnt fall kind of theme, but the color scheme changes from day to night. The day to night cycle is kind of important because I'm not sure if there's different enemies, but your combat changes depending what type of time of day it is. And yeah, so like the brawler, he does more damage during the day, and the kicker, she does more damage during the night. And I think the other ones have something too. It probably shows on the screen. Oh, that's the other thing. When you choose your character, there's I think about 10. I'm not good with the numbers on these counting things, but 10 things, 10 abilities you can choose from in the beginning, and they're kind of like equipment actually, and they have certain power enabling abilities. So there's some interesting ones in there though. Like, I mean, yeah, there's the conventional stuff like a sword or something, but then there's pancakes or sneakers. So that's not a lighthearted game. This is not for the uptight gamer. This is a chill, kind of funny game, and I really enjoyed it. So it's not creepy or anything. It's called Skeleton Punchers, but it's not a scary game. I kind of like dismissed it at first because like, oh great, Skeleton Punchers and kind of like dark horror. No, it's pretty chill. It's kind of cute actually in a way, believe it or not, but you know, it is Halloween season, so yeah, it's really cool. I'll have a link to it in the description on Steam. I think it's also on itch.io maybe, I'm not sure. But either way, you can get the game. Maybe it will be, I don't know. But yeah, so Skeleton Punchers. This is Dave from Mr. Dave Pizza. Thanks so much for watching my channel. If you enjoy this type of content, if you'd like to support my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.